हाँ जी, सत श्री अकाल जी सारिਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੈਲਕਮ ਬੈਕ ਟੂ ਅਵਰ ਚੈਨਲ। ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਥੋੜਾ ਜਿਹਾ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਅੱਜ ਦੀ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੋ ਟੌਪਿਕਸ ਨੂੰ ਕਵਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਪਹਿਲਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੇਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤੇ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਹੱਲ ਕੀ ਹੈ, ਤੇ ਦੂਸਰਾ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਹੈ ਪੀਟੀ ਦਾ ਉਹ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਭਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਕੂਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਭਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਸੀ, ਉਹਨਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਅੱਜ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਲਈ ਇੱਕ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਇਆ ਜਿਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਡੀਪ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਚੈਨਲ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਨਵੇਂ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਹਜੇ ਤੱਕ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਤਾਂ ਪਲੀਜ਼ ਸਬਸਕ੍ਰਾਈਬ ਮਾਈ ਚੈਨਲ। ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਲੇਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਕੀ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਹੈਗਾ ਕੋਈ ਆਪਣੀ ਸਕੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਦਾ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਨਹੀਂ, 0% ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਹੈ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਲੇਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ 2 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, 1 ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, 2 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ, ਔਰ ਕਈ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ 5 ਜਾਂ 6 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਮਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਮਿਥ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਇੱਕ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਰਿਊਮਰ ਫੈਲਿਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਆਲੇ ਦੁਆਲੇ ਕਿ ਜੇਕਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ 2 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ 1 ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਆਵੇਗਾ। ਬਟ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ 1 ਦਿਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ 2 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਜਾਂ 3 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਕੋਰਿੰਗ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਇਫੈਕਟ ਪਾਵੇਗਾ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਆਵੇਗਾ। ਤਾਂ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗੀ। ਤਾਂ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਿਊਮਰਸ ਨੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਤੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਬਚੋ। ਔਰ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ 2 ਦਿਨ ਜਾਂ 3 ਦਿਨ ਜਾਂ 4 ਦਿਨ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ 5 ਦਿਨ ਤੱਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਤਾਂ ਇੱਕ ਗੱਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਯਾਦ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਪੀਟੀ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਅਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਵੈਬਸਾਈਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵੀ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ 5 ਡੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਡਿਕਲੇਅਰ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ 5 ਡੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਜਾਂਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਵੈਲ ਐਂਡ ਗੁੱਡ ਹੈ, ਅਗਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਦੈਨ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਲਿੰਕ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਬਾਕਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ, ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਉਸ ਫਾਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਮਿਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਇਮੀਡੀਏਟਲੀ ਗੈਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। 1 ਜਾਂ 2 ਦਿਨਾਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਡਿਕਲੇਅਰ ਹੋ ਜਾਵੇਗਾ। ਹੁਣ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਸ ਫਾਰਮ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਲਿੱਕ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਫਾਰਮੈਲਿਟੀਜ਼ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ, ਥੋੜੀਆਂ ਜਿਹੀਆਂ ਡਿਟੇਲਸ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨੀਆਂ ਪੈਣਗੀਆਂ। ਲਿੰਕ ਓਪਨ ਕਰਨ ਸਾਰ ਹੀ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ UKVI ਦਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ, PT ਅਕੈਡਮਿਕ ਦਾ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ PT ਕੋਰ ਦਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ। ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਵੀ ਜਿਸ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਆ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ। ਦੈਨ ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਅੱਗੇ 3-4 ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮਸ ਪੁੱਛੀਆਂ ਹੁੰਦੀਆਂ ਨੇ, ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਸਕੋਰਿੰਗ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਵਾਲਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਵਾਲਾ ਆਪਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਿਲੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਲੈਣਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਮਿਟ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਇੱਕ ਹੋਰ ਫਾਰਮ ਖੁੱਲੇਗਾ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਬੇਸਿਕ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਹੈ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਲ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ। ਬੇਸਿਕ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਈਮੇਲ ਹੈ, ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ID ਹੈ। ਹੁਣ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦਾ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ID ਹੈ ਸਰ ਉਹ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਕਿੱਥੋਂ ਮਿਲੂਗੀ। ਤਾਂ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਮਾਈ ਪੀਟੀ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਲੌਗਇਨ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਹੈ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ID ਹੈ ਉੱਥੋਂ ਵੀ ਗੈਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਨਹੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਰਜਿਸਟਰਡ ਮੇਲ ਹੈ ਜਦੋਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਲ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਉੱਥੇ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਸਟੂਡੈਂਟ ID ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਗਿਵਨ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ, ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਉਸ ਫਾਰਮ ਨੂੰ ਸਬਮਿਟ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਹੈ। ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਮੇਲ ਆ ਜਾਊਗੀ PT ਵੱਲੋਂ ਔਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਵੀ ਆ ਜਾਊਗਾ। ਔਰ ਮੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜੇ PT ਹੈ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕਲੀਅਰਲੀ ਦੱਸ ਦੇਗੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕਿਉਂ ਲੇਟ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ, ਟੈਕਨੀਕਲ ਇਸ਼ੂ ਕਰਕੇ ਲੇਟ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਟਕ ਹੋ ਚੁੱਕਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਡਿਟੇਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਮਿਸਮੈਚ ਹੋਣ ਕਰਕੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲੇਟ ਹੋ ਰਿਹਾ। ਵਿਦਿਨ ਵਰਕਿੰਗ 1 or 2 ਡੇਜ਼ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਆ ਜਾਏਗਾ। ਸੋ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਣਾ, ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਾ ਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਲੇਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੋਰ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਹੀ ਆਉਣਗੇ, ਅਗਰ ਮੇਰਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ 2 ਘੰਟਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਸਕੋਰ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਹੀ ਆਉਣਗੇ। ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸਕੋਰ ਹੈ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਆ, ਤਾਂ ਹਮੇਸ਼ਾ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ ਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੈਫਰੈਂਸ ਦਿਓ। ਫਿਰ ਆਪਾਂ ਗੱਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ ਦੂਜੇ ਟੌਪਿਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ। ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨਸ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕੂਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰੀਏ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕਿ 17,000 ਫੀਸ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਬੁੱਕ ਕਰੀਏ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਅੱਜ ਕੱਲ ਬਹੁਤ ਪੜ੍ਹੇ ਲਿਖੇ ਹੋ, ਟੈਕਨੋਲੋਜੀ ਬਾਰੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਨੌਲੇਜ ਹੈਗੀ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਖੁਦ ਵੀ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਦ ਵੀ ਮਾਈ PT ਉੱਪਰ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੀ ID ਕ੍ਰੀਏਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਫਿਲ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਖੁਦ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਲਈ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਹੋਣਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਰੂਰੀ ਹੈ ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਕ੍ਰੈਡਿਟ ਕਾਰਡ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਫਿਲ ਕਰੋਗੇ। ਬਟ ਅਗਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਪੋਜ਼ਿਟਿਵ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਜਦੋਂ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੂਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਨੈਗੇਟਿਵ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ। ਇਹਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਬਹੁਤ ਜ਼ਿਆਦੀਆਂ ਅਫਵਾਹਾਂ ਸੁਣੀਆਂ ਹੋਈਆਂ ਨੇ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਹਾਂ ਕਿ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੂਪਨ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਫਰੈਸ਼ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਕੋਈ ਡਿਫਰੈਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈਗਾ ਆ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਇੰਸਟੀਚਿਊਟ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਟੀਚਰ ਤੋਂ ਜਾਂ ਕਿਸੇ ਹੋਰ ਵੀ ਥਰਡ ਪਾਰਟੀ ਤੋਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਵਾਉਂਦੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਕੀ ਪਤਾ ਕਿ ਉਹਨੇ ਕੂਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਭਰਿਆ। ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੂਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਨਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ ਫੀਸ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜੀ 13, 13.5 ਔਰ 14 ਦੇ ਨੀਅਰ ਹੈ, ਔਰ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਭਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੀ 17,000 ਫੀਸ ਹੈ। ਅਗਰ ਕੋਈ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੋਵੇ ਤਾਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਹੋਵੇ, ਨਾ ਕਿ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਨ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਜਦੋਂ ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਬੁੱਕ ਹੀ ਹੋ ਗਿਆ, ਇੱਕ ਵਾਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਫੇਲ ਹੀ ਕਰ ਦਿੱਤਾ, ਉਸ ਤੋਂ ਬਾਅਦ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਆਉਣਾ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ, ਕਿੱਦਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉੱਥੇ ਆਪਣਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਹੈ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਸ ਨੂੰ ਪਰਫਾਰਮ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਇਓ। ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਕਦੇ ਵੀ ਇਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨੂੰ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਮਾਈਂਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਨਾ ਲਓ ਕਿ ਉਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਭਰਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਜਾਂ ਜਲਦੀ ਆ ਗਿਆ, ਜਾਂ ਉਸ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਕੁਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਿਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਹੈ ਉਹ ਲੇਟ ਆਇਆ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਉਹਦਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਨਹੀਂ ਆਇਆ। ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੁਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਵੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਿਆ ਔਰ ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੇ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਵੀ ਭਰਿਆ। ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਕਲਾਸ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸੀ, ਜਿੰਨੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਆਪਣੇ ਪੀਟੀ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਦੀ ਤਿਆਰੀ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ, ਉਸ ਦੇ ਬਿਹਾਫ ਤੇ ਹੀ ਆਇਆ। ਔਰ ਨੈਕਸਟ ਥਿੰਗ, ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਇਹ ਵੀ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਭਰੀਏ, ਕਿਹੜੇ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਬੈਸਟ ਹੈ ਕਿ ਜਿੱਥੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਪੀਟੀ ਹੈ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚੋਂ ਬੈਂਡ ਸਕੋਰ ਗੈਟ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ। ਇਸ ਦੇ ਉੱਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਵੀ ਇੱਕ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਬਣਾਈ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਐਡ ਆਨ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਕਰ ਦੇਣਾ ਕਿ ਜਦੋਂ ਵੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਫਿਲ ਕਰਨਾ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨੀਅਰ ਬਾਈ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਪੀਅਰਸਨ ਦਾ ਅਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਹੈ, ਉਹ ਉੱਥੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਫਿਲ ਕਰੋ। ਕਦੇ ਇਹ ਚੀਜ਼ ਨਾ ਦੇਖੋ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਚੰਡੀਗੜ੍ਹ ਹੀ ਭਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਬਠਿੰਡੇ ਹੀ ਭਰਨਾ ਹੈ, ਮੈਂ ਜਲੰਧਰ ਹੀ ਭਰਨਾ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਲੁਧਿਆਣੇ ਹੀ ਭਰਨਾ ਹੈ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕੋ ਗੱਲ ਕਹਿਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦਾ ਵਾਰ-ਵਾਰ, ਸਭ ਕੁਝ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਹੱਥ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੈ, ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਮਿਹਨਤ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਹੈ। ਨਾ ਕੁਪਨ ਵਾਲਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਮੈਟਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਫਰੈਸ਼ਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਉਹ ਮੈਟਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਨਾ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਚ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ 2 ਦਿਨ ਚ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ, ਇਹ ਕੋਈ ਚੀਜ਼ ਮੈਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦੀ। ਔਰ ਈਵਨ ਕਿ ਸੈਂਟਰ ਵੀ ਮੈਟਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਦਾ। ਮੈਟਰ ਕਰਦਾ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਹਾਰਡ ਵਰਕ, ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਡੈਡੀਕੇਸ਼ਨ ਲੈਵਲ ਔਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੇ ਕੌਨਫੀਡੈਂਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਉਸ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਨੂੰ ਅਟੈਂਪਟ ਕਰਕੇ ਆਏ ਹੋ। ਅਗਰ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਵਧੀਆ ਲੱਗੀ ਤਾਂ ਇਸ ਵੀਡੀਓ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਣੇ ਯਾਰਾਂ ਦੋਸਤਾਂ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰ ਦਿਓ। ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਡਾਊਟ ਹੈ, ਜਿਨ੍ਹਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਹੈ ਪੀਟੀ ਦੇ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਦੇ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਕਿ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਰਿਜ਼ਲਟ ਲੇਟ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਜਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕਿਹੜਾ ਐਗਜ਼ਾਮ ਭਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੀਦਾ। ਹੋਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਟ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਸਰ ਕੋਈ ਪੀਟੀ ਦਾ ਆਫੀਸ਼ੀਅਲੀ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਨੰਬਰ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਈਮੇਲ ਦੇ ਦਿਓ ਜਿਸ ਦੀ ਹੈਲਪ ਨਾਲ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰ ਸਕੀਏ। ਤਾਂ ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਔਰ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਮੈਂਟ ਸੈਕਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਇੱਕ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਨੰਬਰ ਤੇ ਇੱਕ ਮੈਂ ਈਮੇਲ ਵੀ ਐਡ ਕਰ ਰਿਹਾ। ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨਾਲ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੋ ਬਾਈ ਕਾਲਿੰਗ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਉਸ ਨੰਬਰ ਦੇ ਉੱਤੇ ਕਾਲ ਕਰਕੇ 2-3 ਵਾਰ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੇ ਕੁਐਸਚਨ ਪੁੱਟ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਕਿ ਕਿਹੜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਲੈਂਗੁਏਜ ਚੂਜ਼ ਕਰਨੀ ਹੈ, ਕਿਸ ਦੇ ਰਿਗਾਰਡਿੰਗ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਇਹ ਕਾਲ ਹੈ। ਤਾਂ ਬਟ ਸਭ ਤੋਂ ਇੰਪੋਰਟੈਂਟ ਹੈ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਉਸ ਕਾਲ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਥੋੜੀ ਜਿਹੀ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਸ ਰੱਖਣੀ ਪਊਗੀ। ਬਿਕੋਜ਼ ਕਈ ਵਾਰ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਲਾਈਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਬਿਜ਼ੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਬੱਚੇ ਕੀ ਹੈ ਪੇਸ਼ੈਂਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਦੇ, ਤਾਂ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਜਿਹੜੀ ਕਾਲ ਹੈ ਉਹ 1 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਵੀ ਆਨਸਰ ਹੋ ਸਕਦੀ ਹੈ ਔਰ ਸ਼ਾਇਦ ਮੈਕਸਿਮਮ ਟੂ ਮੈਕਸਿਮਮ 20 ਔਰ 25 ਮਿੰਟਸ ਵੀ ਲੱਗ ਸਕਦੇ ਨੇ। ਇਸ ਕਰਕੇ ਅਗਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਵੀ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਡਾਊਟ ਜਾਂ ਫਿਰ ਇਦਾਂ ਦੀ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਫੇਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹੋ ਤਾਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਤੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਔਰ ਮੈਸੇਜ ਵੀ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ, ਜੋ ਕਿ ਡਿਸਕ੍ਰਿਪਸ਼ਨ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਐਡਡ ਹੈ।
There are several variables for calculating the distance a person can cover in 10,000 steps per day, including their height, stride length, and physical ability, as well as the terrain. You can use a step count goal of 10,000 average daily steps as a personal activity benchmark to promote accountability and healthy habits in daily life. Shortages of certain products, like meat or toilet paper, are certainly annoying and inconvenient. That said, people can live without them, so it's not such a big deal in the grand scheme of things. However, the baby formula shortage of 2022 is pretty scary stuff for parents of infants, not to mention adults who have medical conditions that require such products to survive. Brown is the most common eye color in the world. Between 70 and 80% of the world's population have eyes that are some shade of brown, from the darkest dark brown to light brown. It's thought that all ancient humans living 10,000 years ago or more had brown eyes. Medicare was created in 1965 as a safety net health insurance program for older Americans. All Americans over 65 years old qualify for Medicare health coverage regardless of pre-existing conditions, and Medicare covers a significant portion of the costs of doctors' office visits, treatments and surgeries, and prescription medications, although Medicare recipients also pay annual premiums and out-of-pocket costs. Our ears are highly sensitive to loud noise. Even very short exposures to high-level sounds, that's anything above 132 decibels, can cause permanent hearing loss for some people. That's true even if it's just a brief blast. A single gunshot or fireworks explosion can cause immediate damage to the ear. countries that are members of the United Nations are obligated to report cases of unusual diseases that have the potential to become global health threats. In May 2022, more than a dozen countries in Europe, the Americas, and other regions of the world that had never before had cases of monkeypox started to report cases occurring within their borders. How mosquitoes seek out and feed on their hosts are important factors in how a virus circulates in nature. Mosquitoes spread diseases by acting as carriers of viruses and other pathogens. A mosquito that bites a person infected with a virus can acquire the virus and pass it on to the next person it bites. IPOs give the company's initial investors a chance to make a return that justifies the risk they took in backing it early on. Their own shares stand to grow in value as they become worth the price that they're trading on the stock market. And the legions of investors who buy shares in the newly public company stand to watch their stake rise quickly in value as well. In cold weather or during startup, water vapor present in the exhaust system can create white smoke, while blue smoke might be an indication of a different issue. Exhaust emissions, a natural byproduct of the combustion process, are typically harmless, as they dissipate quickly once the engine warms up. That new baby smell could also serve an evolutionary purpose, for example, to help a mother identify her baby more easily, similar to how babies can identify their mothers by smell almost immediately. Several studies have shown that most mothers can identify their babies by smell alone. It may also help a woman bond to her baby. Many mental health problems emerge during adolescence. Among these are disorders such as depression and anxiety, which manifest as internalizing symptoms, including low mood and worrying. Other conditions such as attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, ADHD, manifest as externalizing symptoms such as impulsive behavior. Chemists have developed a bio-inspired supramolecular approach to convert photoswitchable molecules from their stable state into metastable one with low-energy red light. Their work enables fast, highly selective, and efficient switching, providing new tools for energy storage, activation of drugs with light, and sensing applications. While life on Earth is relatively new, geologically speaking, the ingredients that combine to form it might be much older than once thought. The simplest amino acid, carbamic acid, could have formed alongside stars or planets within interstellar ices. The findings could be used to train deep space instruments like the James Webb Space Telescope to search for prebiotic molecules in distant, star-forming regions of the universe. quantum physicists show that imperfect timekeeping places a fundamental limit to quantum computers and their applications. The team claims that even tiny timing errors add up to place a significant impact on any large-scale algorithm, posing another problem that must eventually be solved if quantum computers are to fulfill the lofty aspirations that society has for them. Scientists have recently rediscovered and managed to cultivate Rhabdamoeba marina, a rare marine amoeba that has been documented in only 2 instances over the past 100 years. By studying this cultured strain, they conducted a thorough examination of its genetic sequence, unveiling the amoeba's phylogenetic position for the first time. Scientists at the Center of Excellence in Space Sciences, India, located at IISER Kolkata, have made a significant finding regarding the connection between the Sun's magnetic field and its sunspot cycle. This discovery allows for the prediction of the timing of the peak in solar activity. Their research suggests that solar cycle 25 is approaching its maximum intensity and is expected to happen within a year. Long considered myth, freakishly large rogue waves are very real and can split apart ships and even damage oil rigs. Using 700 years' worth of wave data from more than 1 billion waves, Scientists at the University of Copenhagen and University of Victoria have used artificial intelligence to find a formula for how to predict the occurrence of these maritime monsters. Domesticated rabbits come in all sizes and colors, including tiny Netherland dwarfs, floppy-eared French lops, Flemish giants, and fluffy Angoras. These breeds belong to Europe's only rabbit species, originally limited to the Iberian Peninsula and southern France and used for meat and fur since the last ice age, culminating in domestication about 1,500 years ago. The second plague pandemic of the mid-14th century, also known as the Black Death, killed 30 to 60% of the European population and profoundly changed the course of European history. New research suggests that this plague, potentially through resulting changes in diet and hygiene, may also be associated with a shift in the composition of the human oral microbiome toward one that contributes to chronic diseases in modern-day humans. Scientists have made a significant finding regarding the connection between the Sun's magnetic field and its sunspot cycle. This discovery allows for the prediction of the timing of the peak in solar activity. Their research suggests that solar cycle 25, which is currently ongoing, is approaching its maximum intensity and is expected to happen within a year. How can you be prepared for what's ahead in life, good or bad? Building emotional strength can help you learn how to be confident in handling its twists and turns. But emotional strength doesn't mean pushing aside or suppressing negative feelings or emotions. Instead, it means acknowledging them and finding healthy ways to process and respond to them. You may have heard that puzzles and other brain games sharpen your mind, boosting memory, attention span, thinking speed, creativity, and problem-solving skills, and that may or may not be true. Scientists can't agree, but we do know that they're loads of fun and a great way to stay engaged and entertained. The natural world is an incredible place. There are soaring mountains and rolling sand dunes, spectacular beaches and shimmering lakes, steaming geysers and bubbling volcanoes, and so much more. Although it's all truly dazzling, there are a few destinations and sites around the world that stand out from the rest. And the most significant of all are the 7 natural wonders of the world. Like the science of yawns, the reason for earworms is fascinating. They are a form of auditory imagery where we perceive tone in the brain in the absence of actually hearing it. The auditory cortex is located in the temporal lobe of the brain, says Samata Sharma, MD, Director of Addiction Consult Psychiatry at Brigham and Women's Hospital in Boston, who has published research on this topic. Cats are popular pets around the world. They are known for their playful nature, soft fur, and independent personalities. Many people enjoy having cats as companions, as they can provide comfort and entertainment. However, it is important to take care of cats properly by providing them with food, water, and regular veterinary checkups. Existentialism is a philosophical movement that explores the nature of human existence and the individual's struggle to find meaning in a chaotic and absurd world. It emphasizes personal freedom, responsibility, and the importance of subjective experience. Existentialist thinkers like Jean-Paul Sartre and Friedrich Nietzsche delve into concepts such as authenticity, anxiety, and the inevitability of death. The researchers concluded that millions of people around the world may have inhabited a gray zone between living and dying, in which they have had an out-of-body experience. People often wake up profoundly changed, no longer fearing death and resolved to live a better life. These days, it seems near-death experiences are a common phenomenon. The research team named above, which studied hundreds of cases to narrow down the medical definition, discovered that around 15% of people who have been resuscitated from a coma after cardiac arrest have had these experiences. Songbirds do indeed have perfect pitch. A scientific study has shown that various songbirds, including zebrafinches and white-throated sparrows, are much better at determining, distinguishing, and remembering isolated pitches than human beings or rats. Even when human subjects were provided with a second sound for comparison, they were far less skilled at determining its pitch than songbirds. Early experiences with music play a role in human beings. Most babies have perfect pitch, and this is usually preserved if they are given music lessons at an early age. Speaking a tonal language such as Mandarin, where words can have different meanings depending on tone and pitch, also help to develop perfect pitch. There is a big difference between sadness and distress. Feeling a bit sad or angry is normal in your day-to-day life and can be triggered by a range of different things. However, if you are feeling increasingly angry, frustrated, helpless, or confused, then you may be suffering from something which requires a professional to step in. Maintaining a consistent sleep schedule is crucial for a good night's sleep in autumn when daylight hours are shorter and the body's internal clock can be disrupted. Going to bed and waking up at the same time each day helps regulate your circadian rhythm, allowing your body to anticipate when it's time to sleep and when it's time to wake, promoting deeper and more restful sleep. As the nights draw in and the days turn a little gloomy, the winter months can often have an impact on our mental and physical health. With that in mind, a trip to sunnier climates might be exactly what you need to give your well-being a boost. Your nervous system allows you to think, move, and feel. But there's a whole other part of the nervous system that is largely outside of your control, operating automatically and quite independently from your conscious mind, and it keeps you alive. During the winter season, various eye issues can arise due to harsh weather conditions. Excess tearing and watery eyes, often caused by cold air and icy winds, can lead to eye redness and inflammation. This can often be due to dry eyes from the combination of entering and exiting the cold weather and rooms that have been heated with central heating. Your body is at war. Your immune system is in endless battle against a host of enemies, including bacteria, viruses, parasites, and, more often than you would like or are aware, cancer cells. Thankfully, your white blood cells are cutthroat killer cells, patrolling the body, ready to engulf, entrap, or dissolve unwanted visitors. The first research study that has undergone peer review has been released, demonstrating the successful transplantation of genetically modified pig kidneys into a human who was brain dead. These kidneys replaced the original kidneys of the recipient and were of clinical grade quality. The success of this transplant shows that xenotransplantation could be a solution to the global shortage of organs for transplant. A susceptibility to gain weight may be written into molecular processes of human cells, a new study indicates. The proof of concept study with a set of 22 twins found an epigenetic signature in buccal or cheek cells appearing only for the twins who were obese compared to their thinner siblings. Basically, when we are standing still, our bodies are constantly making adjustments in order to keep us stable. For example, if someone bumps into us when we are standing in line, our legs make a wide range of movements that we are not even necessarily aware of in order to keep us upright. The pursuit of wellness has gained increasing attention in recent years due to its potential benefits for preventing chronic diseases, promoting longevity, and improving quality of life. However, achieving optimal wellness requires a holistic approach that considers the unique needs and circumstances of each individual. Wellness interventions and programs should be tailored to the specific needs of individuals and communities. Research has shown that excessive job hours, such as working long hours or overtime, can lead to negative outcomes, including increased stress levels, fatigue, and decreased job satisfaction. Additionally, long work hours have been associated with adverse health effects, such as increased risk of cardiovascular disease and mental health issues. Building a personal library requires careful consideration and a discerning eye for selecting literary works that resonate with one's intellectual curiosity. Beyond being a physical manifestation of one's intellectual journey, personal libraries serve as a sanctuary for intellectual stimulation and contemplation. They offer a haven for deep reading, critical thinking, and the exploration of new ideas. University terms are typically divided into semesters or quarters, with each term lasting several months. The academic calendar may also include summer sessions or intersessions, which offer additional opportunities for students to take courses and accelerate their degree progress. University terms are structured to provide students with a clear timeline for completing their coursework and earning their degrees. While vitamins are essential for maintaining overall health and well-being, excessive or inadequate intake may have adverse effects. Research suggests that certain vitamins, such as vitamin D and vitamin E, may play a role in reducing the risk of mortality from specific causes, such as cardiovascular disease or cancer. The development of a baby's senses begins in the womb, with hearing being one of the earliest to emerge. Parents have been known to play music to their unborn babies, hoping to stimulate their cognitive development. Recent research shows that babies can even start hearing adult speech as early as 10 weeks before birth, providing them with an early exposure to the sounds and rhythms of their family's language. At our institution, we recognize the importance of research in the humanities and social sciences. We are committed to advancing knowledge in these fields through rigorous research and analysis. Our research agenda is driven by the pursuit of new insights that can benefit society both locally and globally. We offer a wide range of programs in the humanities and social sciences. A person's demographic and social background can influence their attendance at cultural venues and events. Household composition, in particular, plays a significant role in shaping cultural preferences. For instance, families with young children are more likely to visit theme parks and amusement centers, while single individuals may be more inclined to attend concerts and art galleries. Plants possess an intricate system of roots that extends far beyond what meets the eye. These underground networks serve a crucial purpose in absorbing water and nutrients from the soil. This remarkable feature enables plants to thrive in demanding environments like deserts. Mesquite trees, for example, have tap roots that can delve over 50 yards deep in search of water. Cambridge scientists have shown that placing physical constraints on an artificially intelligent system, in much the same way that the human brain has to develop and operate within physical and biological constraints, allows it to develop features of the brains of complex organisms in order to solve tasks. Pavlov proposed over a century ago that the sight, smell, and taste of food are important for regulating digestion. More recent studies in the 1970s and 1980s have also suggested that the taste of food may restrain how fast we eat, but it's been impossible to study the relevant brain activity during eating because the brain cells that control this process are located deep in the brainstem. The internal clocks of grizzly bears appear to keep ticking through hibernation, according to a genetic study. This persistence highlights the strong role of circadian rhythms in the metabolism of many organisms, including humans. The genetic study confirmed observational evidence that bears' energy production still waxes and wanes in a daily pattern even as they slumber for several months without eating. Contrary to the commonly held view, the brain does not have the ability to rewire itself to compensate for the loss of sight, an amputation or stroke, for example, say scientists. The researchers argue that the notion that the brain, in response to injury or deficit, can reorganize itself and repurpose particular regions for new functions, is fundamentally flawed, despite being commonly cited in scientific textbooks. Work and personal lives underwent enormous disruption during the pandemic, with people working from home experiencing increased loneliness and a range of mental health issues. Under normal circumstances, the younger generations of workers need additional support from their managers, and that was exacerbated during the pandemic, when we saw that relative newcomers to the workforce did not cope as well under the pressures of remote working. A recent study, co-authored by a researcher from Tulane University, has found evidence suggesting that violence was a prevalent aspect of life within ancient hunter-gatherer communities. The study examined skeletal remains dating back 10,000 years from burial sites in northern Chile, specifically looking for signs of trauma. These findings provide insights into the historical prevalence of violence among early human societies. A novel approach has been developed that enables researchers to track gene expression during the development of bacterial communities over time and space. Using this cutting-edge technique, scientists have demonstrated for the first time that bacteria collaborate and exchange nutrients across generations when they form communities. Societies face numerous challenges, including inequality, discrimination, and social injustice. It's important to recognize these issues and work towards building a more equitable and compassionate society. By raising awareness, supporting marginalized communities, and advocating for social justice, we can work towards creating a better future for all. Some 160,000 people have some form of dementia in Sweden, Alzheimer's disease being the most common, a figure that is rising with our life expectancy. At the same time, many new diagnostic methods and early intervention therapies have been developed in recent years, which foregrounds the need to identify more risk factors for the disease. In mice, there is some evidence that an unusual phenomenon in mammals called genomic imprinting impacts parenting behavior. Mammals inherit 2 copies of each gene, one from each parent, and usually, each copy is expressed equally in the cell. With imprinted genes, however, only one copy is expressed, either the one inherited from the father or the mother. When it comes to engineering human skin, hair may at first seem superfluous. However, hair follicles are quite important. They produce sweat, helping regulate body temperature, and they contain stem cells that help skin heal. Hair follicles are also an entry point for topical drugs and cosmetics, making them an important part of dermatological testing. Increasing levels of obesity, poor diet, and increased sedentary behavior are driving a rapid rise in the number of cases of type 2 diabetes worldwide. In 2021, 537 million adults were estimated to have diabetes worldwide, with an increasing number diagnosed at younger ages. A recent study demonstrates that strawberries, consumed daily for 12 weeks, can improve memory and reduce depressive symptoms in middle-aged, overweight adults. This improvement is attributed to the anti-inflammatory effects of anthocyanins in strawberries, highlighting the fruit's role in cognitive health. A study from UCL and the University of Sydney shows that substituting just a few minutes of daily sitting with moderate exercise can greatly benefit heart health. It also showed the benefit of light activity, standing, and sleeping compared with sitting. This finding, part of research involving more than 15,000 individuals, underscores the significant health impact of even small changes in daily physical activity. Japanese researchers at Nagoya University have uncovered new aspects of the interaction between mast-seeding plants like bamboo and field mice. Their study reveals that mice behavior, influenced by species, environment, and season, plays a crucial role in seed dispersal and forest ecosystem health, challenging existing theories about seed storage and consumption. Recent trends in raw food diets overlook the fact that some vegetables are more nutritious when cooked. Cooking methods like steaming or roasting can enhance the availability of essential nutrients in vegetables such as asparagus, mushrooms, and spinach. This process releases important vitamins and antioxidants, which are sometimes trapped within the vegetable's cell walls. Normally, heat is what gets evaporation going, causing water molecules in the liquid to jostle more vigorously. That extra energy can break some of the bonds between molecules in the liquid, allowing molecules to escape as water vapor. Based on how much heat goes in, scientists can calculate the amount of evaporation expected. Individuals that tended to engage in cooperative behavior within their group were more likely to interact with bonobos in the other group that had the same tendency. This cooperation doesn't appear to be solely motivated by immediate reciprocation, the researchers say. For instance, during the study, only 14% of bonobos that shared food with a partner in the other group had the deed reciprocated. Most birds can bend their wings at the wrist, pulling arched wings close to their bodies to navigate their way through dense vegetation like branches. But hummingbird wings aren't as flexible. Because the wings stick straight out from a hummingbird's body, getting through tight spaces requires some tricky maneuvering. When an earthquake strikes, smaller quakes known as aftershocks can continue to shake the area for days to years after the original earthquake occurred. These smaller quakes decrease over time and are part of the fault's readjustment process following the original quake. While aftershocks are smaller in magnitude than the main shock, they can still damage infrastructure and impede recovery from the original earthquake. Pancreatic cancer is tricky to manage because it spreads easily and early, and the tumors have a unique biological makeup. But researchers made a breakthrough by learning about the genetic changes that occur during tumor migration, and also found a drug that can obstruct the process. In the creative condition, the students were told to think of a friend who did something special and think of them as their creative friend who could help them solve any problem. This type of creativity training is called perspective shifting, in which the kids look at a problem through the eyes of someone else. As the world strives to cut greenhouse gas emissions and find sustainable transportation solutions, University of Houston energy researchers suggest that hydrogen fuel can potentially be a cost-competitive and environmentally friendly alternative to traditional liquid fuels, and that supplying hydrogen for transportation in the greater Houston area can be profitable today. The largest terrestrial carbon sink on Earth is the planet's soil. One of the big fears is that a warming planet will liberate significant portions of the soil's carbon, turning it into carbon dioxide, CO2, gas, and so further accelerate the pace of planetary warming. 3D printing is advancing rapidly, and the range of materials that can be used has expanded considerably. While the technology was previously limited to fast-curing plastics, it has now been made suitable for slow-curing plastics as well. These have decisive advantages as they have enhanced elastic properties and are more durable and robust. Dairy products such as ice cream and yogurt have relied on natural vanilla for many years, McBride points out. In the U.S., Food and Drug Administration rules state that vanilla ice cream must get its flavor from natural vanilla. If the flavor comes partially or fully from another source, the company must stamp vanilla flavored or artificial vanilla on the front of the package, a likely turnoff to consumers. Changing temperatures shift the energy balance of ecosystems, from plants that produce energy from sunlight to the animals that consume plants and other animals, subsequently altering the sensory worlds that animals experience. It is likely that climate change will challenge all of their senses, from sight and taste to smell and touch. The hardness of materials is determined by the strength of the chemical bonds that are formed between the electrons of the neighboring atoms. For example, the bonds in diamond are very strong, so it is one of the hardest materials known. The bonding is rooted in the laws of quantum mechanics. Around 1% of the adult population are defined as psychopaths, meaning they possess no conscience, shame, guilt, or ability to experience love for or feel empathy towards other people. Dr. Body will discuss how they appear as potentially effective leaders, how they get to the top, and what they do once they have achieved leadership. Conventional theories about black holes, based on Einstein's theory of general relativity, typically explain how static or spinning black holes can exist on their own, isolated in space. Black holes in pairs would eventually be thwarted by gravity attracting and colliding them together. However, this is true if one assumes the universe is standing still. But what about one which is constantly moving? Paul Goddard, an assistant research scientist in the Department of Earth and Atmospheric Sciences at the College of Arts and Sciences at Indiana University, has stated that even if the world manages to achieve the ambitious goal of limiting global warming to 1.5 degrees Celsius above pre-industrial levels, which we are currently not on track to do so, there will still be a significant rise in sea levels. Liquid metals hold the potential to revolutionize the chemical industry and address its environmental impact. By testing a new technique, researchers aim to replace the energy-intensive chemical engineering processes that have been in use since the early 20th century. This innovative approach offers a promising solution to greening the industry by reducing its carbon footprint and minimizing resource consumption. According to Benjamin Alessio, an undergraduate researcher in the Department of Chemical and Biological Engineering, many biological inquiries share a common theme of exploring how complex patterns and shapes develop from a spherical cluster of cells. The study employs a basic physical and chemical mechanism to account for a complex biological phenomenon. Although it is unclear how often neuropsychiatric events occur in children in the United States as a result of influenza, the use of a commonly prescribed antiviral medication for treating flu in children has become a subject of controversy that has raised concerns among parents and medical professionals alike. It may not be very well known, but the Arctic Ocean leaks enormous amounts of the potent greenhouse gas methane. These leaks have been ongoing for thousands of years but could be intensified by a future warmer ocean. The potential for this gas to escape the ocean and contribute to the greenhouse gas budget in the atmosphere is an important mystery that scientists are trying to solve. Sociologists are interested in a wide range of topics, from the micro-level interactions between individuals to the macro-level structures of society. They seek to identify patterns and trends in social behavior and to develop theories that explain these phenomena. Through their research, sociologists aim to contribute to our understanding of society and to help address social problems. In the 1980s, geophysicists made a startling discovery. Two continent-sized blobs of unusual material were found deep near the center of the Earth, one beneath the African continent and one beneath the Pacific Ocean. Each blob is twice the size of the Moon and likely composed of different proportions of elements than the mantle surrounding it. Extratropical forests are globally significant because they store vast quantities of carbon in vegetation and permafrost soils. Approximately 91% of these forests in the Northern Hemisphere are underlain by permafrost. When fires occur in these regions, they emit large amounts of carbon dioxide, CO2, and other greenhouse gases compared to other regions. A new analysis of lice genetic diversity suggests that lice came to the Americas twice, once during the first wave of human migration across the Bering Strait, and again during European colonization. Marina Escunce, currently at the USDARS, and colleagues report these findings in a new study published November 8 in the open-access journal PLOS One. Like their lumbering grazers, most cycads have gone extinct. Their disappearance from their prior habitats began during the late Mesozoic and continued into the early Cenozoic era, punctuated by the cataclysmic asteroid impact and volcanic activity that marked the KPG boundaries 66 million years ago. However, unlike the dinosaurs, somehow a few groups of cycads survived to the present. Why do we dream? A product of our brain's neurophysiology, dreaming is a complex experience that can take on many emotional tones and simulate reality to varying degrees. As a result, there is still no clear answer to this question. A study compared the dreams of two forager communities in Tanzania and the Democratic Republic of Congo with those of individuals living in Europe and North America. Research indicates that over billions of years, surface water has been transported deep into the Earth by descending, or subducted, tectonic plates. Upon reaching the core mantle boundary, about 1,800 miles below the surface, this water triggers a profound chemical interaction, altering the core's structure. A 10-week muscle building and dietary program involving 50 middle-aged adults found no evidence that eating a high-protein diet increased strength or muscle mass more than consuming a moderate amount of protein while training. The intervention involved a standard strength training protocol with sessions 3 times per week. None of the participants had previous weightlifting experience. An international study led by the University of Granada, UGR, has provided the first scientific proof for how many steps you need to take per day to significantly reduce the risk of premature death: 8,000. Given the average length of a human stride, 76 centimeters for men and 67 centimeters for women, taking 8,000 steps is equivalent to walking approximately 6.4 kilometers a day. Theories have long proposed that icy pebbles forming in the cold, outer regions of protoplanetary disks, the same area where comets originate in our solar system, should be the fundamental seeds of planet formation. The main requirement of these theories is that pebbles should drift inward toward the star due to friction in the gaseous disk, delivering both solids and water to planets. When we talk about unwritten rules, we refer to the informal norms and expectations that guide social interactions. They are not explicitly stated but are understood by members of a particular group or community. Unwritten rules can relate to behavior, communication, dress, and other aspects of social interaction. They are often learned through observation and experience rather than formal instruction. Virtual reality, VR, is not only a technology for games and entertainment, but also has potential in science and medicine. Researchers at Ruhr University Bochum, Germany, have now gained new insights into human perception with the help of VR. They used virtual reality scenarios in which subjects touched their own bodies with a virtual object. When we engage in social interactions, like shaking hands or having a conversation, our observation of other people's actions is crucial. But what exactly happens in our brain during this process? How do the different brain regions talk to each other? Researchers provide an intriguing answer. Our perception of what others do depends more on what we expect to happen than previously believed. Bookkeepers are strategic partners in financial management. They possess a deep understanding of financial systems, risk management, and regulatory compliance. Bookkeepers provide valuable insights into financial performance, contribute to strategic planning, and assist in the formulation of financial policies. They collaborate with stakeholders across the organization to ensure transparency and accountability in financial reporting. Elephants, belonging to the family Elephantidae, are large terrestrial mammals known for their remarkable intelligence and social behavior. They are characterized by their long trunks, tusks, and large ears. Elephants are herbivores, primarily feeding on grasses, leaves, and fruits. They play a crucial role in shaping their ecosystems as seed dispersers and vegetation modifiers. A group of researchers from the University of Cologne, in partnership with scientists from the Leibniz Institute for Food Systems Biology in Freising, has made an intriguing finding regarding the presence of a bitter taste receptor in 12 distinct species of cartilaginous fish, including sharks and rays. This newly discovered receptor falls under the category of taste receptors type 2, T2R. The evaluation and identification of potential hazards in the workplace is a crucial process known as hazard assessment. This systematic examination involves a comprehensive analysis of work environments, equipment, and processes to determine potential sources of harm to workers. Hazard assessment is a fundamental component of occupational health and safety programs, and it is a legal requirement in many jurisdictions. Spanish is known for its phonetic pronunciation, with consistent spelling and pronunciation rules. It has a relatively simple verb conjugation system compared to French. On the other hand, French is renowned for its complex verb conjugations and intricate pronunciation, with many silent letters and liaisons. French also has a rich literary tradition and is widely spoken in various parts of the world, particularly in Europe and Africa. The integration of robotics with artificial intelligence and machine learning enables robots to adapt and learn from their surroundings, improving their capabilities and flexibility. However, the widespread adoption of robotics in manufacturing raises concerns about job displacement and the need for reskilling workers. It is crucial to strike a balance between automation and human labor to ensure sustainable employment and equitable economic development. Research has shown that regular meditation can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as improve sleep quality, cognitive function, and immune system response. Meditation is also associated with increased feelings of compassion, empathy, and self-awareness. By cultivating a regular meditation practice, individuals can enhance their overall health and well-being. Eagles are found throughout the world, inhabiting diverse ecosystems such as forests, mountains, and coastal regions. They play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of their ecosystems by regulating prey populations. Many species of eagles are threatened by habitat loss, hunting, and pollution, highlighting the need for conservation efforts to protect these magnificent birds and their ecological contributions. The development of hearing in babies is a complex and fascinating process. From the moment they are born, infants possess the ability to hear and distinguish various sounds in their environment. The auditory system undergoes rapid development during the first years of life, with critical periods for the acquisition of language and speech perception. Climate change, deforestation, pollution, and overexploitation of natural resources are some of the major threats facing the natural environment. Addressing these challenges requires a comprehensive understanding of the complex interactions between humans and the natural environment, as well as a commitment to sustainable development and responsible environmental stewardship. Tortoises, a group of reptiles belonging to the Testudinidae family, are intriguing creatures with unique biological characteristics. These chelonians have evolved over millions of years, adapting to various ecosystems around the world. Their most distinctive feature is their shell, which consists of an upper carapace and a lower plastron, providing exceptional protection against predators and environmental challenges. The prevalence of depression has increased significantly in recent years, with rates ranging from 10% to 20% in the general population. Adolescents and children are also affected by this disorder. Various factors, including genetic predisposition, neurochemical imbalances, and psychosocial stressors, contribute to the development of depression. Matthew Brady was an American photographer who is widely recognized as one of the pioneers of photography in American history. He was born around 1822 to 1824 and passed away on January 15, 1896. Brady is best known for his iconic photographs depicting scenes from the American Civil War. He studied under Samuel Morse, the inventor of the daguerreotype technique in America. Globalization has transformed the world economy, facilitating the flow of goods, services, and capital across borders. It has led to increased competition and efficiency as businesses seek to expand their markets and reduce costs. However, globalization has also contributed to economic inequality, as some countries and individuals have benefited more than others. Spanish is known for its phonetic pronunciation, with consistent spelling and pronunciation rules. It has a relatively simple verb conjugation system compared to French. On the other hand, French is renowned for its complex verb conjugations and intricate pronunciation, with many silent letters and liaisons. French also has a rich literary tradition and is widely spoken in various parts of the world, particularly in Europe and Africa. The integration of robotics with artificial intelligence and machine learning enables robots to adapt and learn from their surroundings, improving their capabilities and flexibility. However, the widespread adoption of robotics in manufacturing raises concerns about job displacement and the need for reskilling workers. It is crucial to strike a balance between automation and human labor to ensure sustainable employment and equitable economic development. Research has shown that regular meditation can reduce stress, anxiety, and depression, as well as improve sleep quality, cognitive function, and immune system response. Meditation is also associated with increased feelings of compassion, empathy, and self-awareness. By cultivating a regular meditation practice, individuals can enhance their overall health and well-being. Eagles are found throughout the world, inhabiting diverse ecosystems such as forests, mountains, and coastal regions. They play a crucial role in maintaining the balance of their ecosystems by regulating prey populations. Many species of eagles are threatened by habitat loss, hunting, and pollution, highlighting the need for conservation efforts to protect these magnificent birds and their ecological contributions. The development of hearing in babies is a complex and fascinating process. From the moment they are born, infants possess the ability to hear and distinguish various sounds in their environment. The auditory system undergoes rapid development during the first years of life, with critical periods for the acquisition of language and speech perception. Climate change, deforestation, pollution, and overexploitation of natural resources are some of the major threats facing the natural environment. Addressing these challenges requires a comprehensive understanding of the complex interactions between humans and the natural environment, as well as a commitment to sustainable development and responsible environmental stewardship. Tortoises, a group of reptiles belonging to the Testudinidae family, are intriguing creatures with unique biological characteristics. These chelonians have evolved over millions of years, adapting to various ecosystems around the world. Their most distinctive feature is their shell, which consists of an upper carapace and a lower plastron, providing exceptional protection against predators and environmental challenges. The prevalence of depression has increased significantly in recent years, with rates ranging from 10% to 20% in the general population. Adolescents and children are also affected by this disorder. Various factors, including genetic predisposition, neurochemical imbalances, and psychosocial stressors, contribute to the development of depression. Matthew Brady was an American photographer who is widely recognized as one of the pioneers of photography in American history. He was born around 1822 to 1824 and passed away on January 15, 1896. Brady is best known for his iconic photographs depicting scenes from the American Civil War. He studied under Samuel Morse, the inventor of the daguerreotype technique in America. Globalization has transformed the world economy, facilitating the flow of goods, services, and capital across borders. It has led to increased competition and efficiency as businesses seek to expand their markets and reduce costs. However, globalization has also contributed to economic inequality, as some countries and individuals have benefited more than others.